Okay, so we're back again. So anyway, David Icke did something at that time. Once it had been established that he was no longer a sports presenter, and he had become an individual or a celebrity in his own right, and forecasting some pretty awful things, most of which have all come true. This is the thing. But anyway, one of the things that he mentioned was that he was sitting in his living room, got a phone call from I think it was Sky, and Sky was kind of like an internet kind of thing, but they were offering TV coverage for, I don't know, what did they used to say, 30 or 40 different channels that you could get if you had their service. So he said to the man that was talking to him, so you can turn me on to this, and what would the service cost, and all of those normal questions. Then he said, how would you do that? Send a technician round and whatever? And the man said, no sir, we can do that now. We know. He said, well, how would you know where? Oh, we know where you are. You're sitting in the front room at number 47, whatever the address was. And Ike was both amazed and horrified that it could be known that. Well, the BBC had been doing this for years anyway, because you're supposed to have a license for the BBC because they don't have adverts, so there's no commercials, so you got to pay for the programming, and you pay for that by buying a license. And it's illegal to watch the BBC, or was back then. It's illegal to watch the BBC without paying your license, because you got to pay your share. So they have a van that roams the streets with an antenna on top of the van. This is back then, okay? They're so much more sophisticated now. But then they had this like a radar thing, and it could spot you in your living room, and it knew which corner of the room your television was. So then they would knock on your door and say, sir, you don't have a license, and you would say, what do I need a license for? Playing innocent, of course. Well, you're watching television. No, well, I don't have a television. Sir, you have a television. It's in the top end corner of your living room, which is, they've got you down. So they were doing that then. Now, the next thing, I'm looking at the school asking me where were you? So then something else. A friend, when I went through Florida, a friend would refuse to use her credit card or her ATM card, which you can have as a credit, doubles as a credit card anyway, and she would refuse to use that when she went to certain places, and her reason was that on the receipt it would have a time and a place, and you would be placed there. Well, it took me a long time to get to it, but what I learned last night was about, let me see, I think it's called geo-tracking or geo-tracing. Now, I've been seeing a long time that people tell me, if you've got a cell phone, they can do anything through that cell phone anyway. And another friend, a subscriber, who's really into knowing about all of this, he's a fond of information, said that his brother, who is an expert on this kind of covert surveillance, which is what it is, noticed one day he went down in the night, he went down to get a drink of water or something, and as he passed his phone, which he refused to take into his bedroom, he passed his phone turned on by itself. And then he realized, after a little research, that the phone can be used to trace you wherever you are, hence the geo-tracing or tracking. And then the presenter of the show that I was watching, actually it was an interview with the man who has just made a movie called 2000 Mules. Now, mule has been used to as a nickname for the person that stuffs ballot boxes. They say that they're a mule, and I learned some incredible things from that interview, because the man is saying about the 2020 sorry, I'm trying to overtake here. I'm doing 25 and I can't overtake. Okay, here we go. The 2020 election, and how they're still looking at deciding whether it could have been stolen. Now it turns out that the man who owns Facebook, Schmuckerberg, paid millions of dollars to have more ballot boxes put in one area. Listen to what I'm saying, to what I heard. In the movie 2000 Mules, they go into all of this, and now it turns out that he would not grant the millions of dollars to the non-profits in that particular area. You can go to and see about the movie 2000 Mules. There's your reference for what I'm saying. And he insisted that he would not give that money unless they put up many more of the ballot boxes. Now, if you followed anything about the election and all of the accusations that were leveled at that, you'll know that there was something called ballot stuffing. Well, go and have a look at that interview about the 2000 Mules. Have a look at that and make your own mind up about that. I'm not getting into talking about who should have won, why they won, did they win, should they have lost. I'm not getting into that. What I'm trying to get people to do is to look at the various media outlets who are giving information, and it's long since past the point where you can just write it off as conspiracy theory. It's not theory anymore. In the movie Mules, 2000 Mules, they actually found out about a sheriff in Midwest, somewhere in Midwest America, who had it's illegal to stuff ballot boxes, and any box that's been stuffed, those voting slips, those ballots will be declared illegal, because it's illegal. It's a crime to actually pay anybody to stuff a box. Now, the stuffing comes because it was many. Well, it turns out that it wasn't many, because if a ballot box was set up and they normally emptied it every day and had, say, 10 or 20 ballots in it, and then somebody had come along, paid to deliver, say, 100 or 200 ballots. If you stuffed them all in the same box, and it went from 20 or 30 to 220 or 30, then it would be clear that something funny had gone on. So all this is now, what's that got to do with the phone? The phone is their tracer. The phone, the man who made the movie made the point. He said, when I got up in the morning, first thing, I think the first thing a lot of people do is to pick up the phone. And I pick up the phone, I leave the bedroom, go to the bathroom, and then I look at my, overtaking again, sorry. Then I look at my messages, look at my comments, read those. Then I go and have breakfast. Then I get into the truck like I am now, and then I drive to a restaurant where I'm probably going to have lunch. And now all of this is traced. It's all traced. Now, even if you're not interested in politics and talking about losing your privacy or losing this or losing that, all of this information can be sold. So whatever it is that we do, wishful thinking is now, a loss of privacy is wishful thinking, because it's gone. It's gone. They know how many times you went to the toilet. Sometimes that's a lot. Are you with me? So they know where you went, what you did. They know what your preferences are. This is commercial surveillance, because all of that information can be sold. I go to 2 restaurants in Taliban. One is PP Coffee, and one which is probably where I'm on my way to right now. One PP Coffee, and the other one is Vedasto. I've now been communicated to. They've sent me a message on Messenger, right? Whoever they are. What did you think of PP Coffee? What did you think? They know that I went to PP Coffee. They know that I went to Alturas. They know that I went. Now, it's not because if I go into Alturas, I might just walk around. That's a sore. I might not get what I want, so I don't buy anything. So they don't see my phone. In other words, they don't see my phone at the cash desk. But if they do, then if I do buy something, they know what I bought. And if they know what I bought, now they know that if I bought light bulbs, they know that the power is on, and they know that they can perhaps interest me in something like side lamps or light fittings or something like that. They know it. And that is all saleable. That's all of our actions during the day, ordinary stuff. If you're tempted to say, respond to me by saying, well, what do I care? I'm just an ordinary person. All of your information, it's a colossal amount of information, and it can be sold. What you do is interesting. And in the future, what anybody will be able to do is they'll be able to find out where you were on Tuesday. Well, where was he on Tuesday at 10 o'clock? If you got your phone with you, you're tagged. And if you loaned your phone out to your daughter or your son or your wife or grandma or whoever, then they'll know where she was, because the phone, you know, the phone is their little, what is it? It's their receiver. it's transmitting all of this stuff. Am I paranoid? Depending on how you look at it. You know, if you don't want to be bothered by ads which tell exactly what you need to know. I get messages, here's something that you might be interested in. How do they know that? They don't know me. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing, what my preferences were about light bulbs or light fittings. And I didn't tell them anybody that because I'm not particularly interested in everybody knowing about my light bulb obsession. See what I mean? I'm in Taliban now. It's been a broken up video, but anyway, thanks for being with me and listening. If you did manage to get to the end, check out some of those things. Check out Klaus Schwab. Check out his assistant, who is a very scary man. Check out that he runs an academy for young leaders who are now going to be soon in leadership positions in the world countries. Check out, you should know by now to check out Gates and what he's been doing, especially what he's doing in Africa and places like that. Check it out for yourself. The World Economic Forum, set up by Soros. It's all going on, and if we don't pay attention, we can only blame ourselves. Bye for now.